Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about DIY conditioners, leather conditioners or leather balm, whatever you would like to call it. I like to make my own leather conditioner and it's the most cost effective way for me to do it for my own business, as well as I can guarantee what's actually in my leather conditioner that I'm selling to my clients. The focus of my business is to have a really sustainable natural products wherever I can, and so I make this up with using natural oils and beeswax. So today we'll go over the recipe for that, what I use and how I make it. It's very, very simple and easy to do at home. It can be used for any leather pieces. Do just check every time you try it on a new leather piece to do a little test spot first, just to make sure it's actually not going to stain it or darken it. I do find sometimes it will darken things and sometimes it won't. Usually it's not long lasting. Within 24 hours it's just a drying time thing. So yeah, test spots if you're going to do that. So my leather conditioner, my leather balm, I usually just use a tiny little bit, and literally just a microfiber cloth or any kind of cloth, or a cotton cloth is fine, and just a really good rub-in. So what it does is it prevents the leather from drying and cracking over time, because it is a natural product, and depending on its wear and tear, I'd usually say every 6 months to a year to condition your leather products. Every piece that I make, I always condition before they go, just because you don't know how long the leather has been kind of sitting around wherever you bought it from or your suppliers, and how much it's dried out in that time. But you can see from that, like the colour of that has not changed significantly at all, but it feels kind of supple and lovely. So yeah, it just keeps it moisturised and helps protect it, particularly the beeswax helps protect it from mould and mildew over time. So now we'll jump into the kitchen and I'll just show you the recipe and how we do it. So first off, we're going to have a quick look at everything we'll need, or the equipment you'll need to do this. Firstly, ingredients that you'll need. I use coconut oil. You don't need a bucket this big, that's just what we happen to have and use. Beeswax, again, you don't need that much, but we go through a lot of it. We've got olive oil and shea butter. And on top of that, we just need some scales to measure everything out. A chopping board or something, whatever you're going to use to chop up your beeswax. I use just a big solid knife to chop up what I need and shave off kind of slivers of beeswax to melt. Otherwise, I've seen people do it as use like an old cheese grater or something like that, an old grater to do it, but I've found the knife the easiest. It is very, very hard, solid beeswax, so you'd need something fairly sturdy. We also need a pot or a saucepan with some water. And so you can basically set up a double boiler type system. So I'll just put all the oils and beeswax in there to melt over this boiling pot. What you'll also need is, well, I recommend it, is just some paper towels. So at the end, obviously with the beeswax, if you let it go cold and hard, it'll all kind of stick to that and very, very hard to wash off and use your bowl again. So yeah, just some paper towels is really handy just to clean up your bowl afterwards. And obviously you need containers to pop it into. Now the recipe that I'm going to use today is going to make up about 100 grams of leather balm. So obviously just change that to whatever suits you and how much you want to make. So here is our shaved up beeswax. It'll melt down nice and easily. So we want 20 grams of beeswax. Now I might have the perfect amount just by pure luck, maybe, yes. Cool, so that's our beeswax. And we want the same amount of shea butter. So 20 grams of shea butter. So just a reminder, so this will make up a total of 100 grams of leather balm. So you want to just cut it nice and small so that it will melt down nicely. So coconut oil, we do 20 grams. And finally we do 40 grams of olive oil. Apologies if you use pounds rather than grams, but it should be easy enough to convert. And one last little ingredient is a couple of drops of essential oil, eucalyptus essential oil. Just helps, really good for helping prevent mold and mildew build-ups, and helps protect the leather a bit more. Okay, once your pot's boiling, you want to use an oven mitt just to hold it kind of above. Don't sit it right on it. Just with the beeswax, you want to be careful not to kind of burn it. You just want to melt it all down. So yeah, just keep stirring regularly until it's all completely melted and to tip into your pots, into your containers. So completely melted down, just got to be sort of quick. So yeah, just pop it back on there until you can get your paper towels ready to clean it all out. Otherwise it's just a nightmare to clean. And then we have a really lovely simple leather balm that you can make at home yourself or use for your businesses to sell. And a lovely natural alternative to a lot of the other leather conditioners out there, but also it does a great job